Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the Queers of Time podcast.
I'm Matt.
I'm James.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Kat.
And this is a podcast to talk about all the gay stuff in the Wheel of Time.
Because we're gay and we like the Wheel of Time.
All right. Thank you so much. Blah, 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 blah. We're so good at this. It's been a few weeks since we've recorded an episode, so
It's been a little bit.
I don't know how podcasts work at all now.
I don't know either.
As always, thank you to our feral venerators of Soirain, Lurks, Morshadi, Charlie, and John. And we also have a new patron this month, this year.
Something.
We have a new patron, Nils. Thank you so much for subscribing to our Patreon.
Thank you.
Your support always means the world to everyone.
Yes.
All of their patrons.
Mm-hmm.
They're all precious.
Yes.
They're precious to us.
They're very precious to us.
So this is a Rings of Power episode. This is Rings of Power Season 2, Episode 6, where there are so many points of view that we need to go over.
My goodness.
There are so many plots happening in here.
Yeah.
It was only an hour-long episode, but it felt like a little movie.
Yes. Yeah, truly. It was, yeah. Anyway, we'll get into it.
Overall, what did you think of the episode?
I liked it. So I've noticed as the season has gone on, I've enjoyed the episodes more and more. I think it's a combination of genuinely, I think the writing this season is a little bit tighter and the characterization is a little bit better too. And also I think I've just forced myself to chill out a little bit so that I can enjoy it a little bit more and not get so caught up on the details.
See, for me, I find myself chilling out less. I'm warming up, but not warming up to the show. Warming up, just the opposite of chilling out.
Heating up. You're heating up. You're getting heated.
Getting heated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying, though. I'm still trying.
I know.
Maybe it was just my mood today. Maybe I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe I need more coffee. I don't know. But I watched the episode and I was like, oh my God.
There was a lot. There was a lot
this episode. And I think that might have been some of it. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plots happening.
Yeah.
In this episode, which is a lot. Normally there are 3.
It's a little bit too much. And this is the thing. I said it a couple of times in my notes. Like, there are plots that I wish we had more time with. Because I am genuinely invested in them, but we get very little time with them.
Right.
And that might change in later seasons. But I feel like you kind of have to lay foundations now in order for people to care about those plots later on. You know what I mean? Because it's I don't know. It's tricky. I get why the plots that have the focus. It makes sense. But the other plots are just as important. You know?
Yeah, I feel like we're a little all over the place in this episode, and
yeah.
There are a couple of plots where I feel like they deserve a little bit more time, and some plots that I feel deserve less time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But with an 8-episode season, that's just what you're gonna get, unfortunately.
This is the thing. It's tricky. I'm curious, I'm not comparing them, but I'm curious to see what will happen with Wheel of Time. Because, we're still in early days Wheel of Time. As the world expands, as we get more into it and we meet more characters and more cultures and nations and all of that, I'm curious to see how they'll balance things, and whether or not they'll run into the same sorts of issues. So far, I think they've done a pretty good job at balancing it, but we're also like, it's so early on in the series. And so there aren't as many plots as they're trying to take on. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how they'll handle it in future seasons of the Wheel of Time. Season 3 is going to be a big test for them, I think.
Yeah.
So
because season 3 they're going to be covering mostly book 4, right? I
yeah,
believe.
and book 4 is all over the place.
Yes, exactly. So it's going to be
in a good way.
In a great way. Book 4 is one of my favorite books of the entire series. So it'll be interesting to see for sure. But
so let's go ahead and get started with one of our plot points here. So the first one that we open with Arondir.
Do we want to do a quick summary of the episode in general, or do we want to summarize them as we go? Like plot point.
I figure we can summarize them as we go.
Sounds good.
So it kind of starts out with Arondir, but then he just attacks some orcs and finds a map of Eregion, so not much actually happens there.
No.
And then we never see him again for the entire episode.
Yeah. Which I was like, I feel like we didn't need this.
Yeah, I didn't understand the point of it.
Yeah.
Other than no, I didn't understand the point of it at all.
There was no that's the thing. Like aside from him being aware that something is happening in Eregion. Okay.
We already knew that.
We knew that, and I don't think it's out of the I think that we knew that he knew that too, right?
I would assume that he would know that, or I don't know.
Yeah.
How important is he going to be to the siege of Eregion, I guess?
This is the thing. It
was only a minute, but still.
But I mean, those minutes add up. Like those minutes really do add up when you're trying to get as much in. I don't know. It's I enjoy and appreciate him as a character, but I don't know.
And from there we move to Celebrimbor and Annatar. The summary here is Celebrimbor focuses on making more rings, making rings for men. Annatar offers to take care of Eregion's administration and gives him and then he later gives him a container which he claims to hold Mithril. I guess we can kind of also do no, we won't do the dwarves here. We'll do the dwarves afterwards.
Yeah, because I think the dwarves. It does connect, but it is a very much a separate, I think, plot that's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, we open up with a shot where Celebrimbor has a lot of failed rings.
Oh my god, yeah.
There were so many.
Yeah.
He just cannot get it to work.
He is teetering on the edge right now. He is struggling. He is forgetting people's names. He is forgetting where he's put things. He is all frazzled and frantic. And it's, I mean, I would imagine it's probably a case of both of these things are true, but I wonder if it's just the stress of everything and his own, the pressure that he's putting on himself to fix things, if that's what's getting to him, or if there's an added pressure from I think it's both.
I think it's both, but I also think there's a scene in this where Celebrimbor admits that he is losing track of things, and he's like, where's my hammer? And then Annatar shows up and is like, oh, this hammer that's right there where you said it was, and it wasn't there a moment ago.
It wasn't there.
I rewound and it was not there. So he's just fucking with him.
Yeah.
He's really just fucking with him to make him feel a little bit more on the edge, and he wants his sole focus to be on making these rings, and he's doing a good job of it.
Oh, he's doing an unbelievable job, and the way that he's playing both Celebrimbor and also the Smiths of Eregion, because he knows that Celebrimbor is dedicated to this, and so he is not going to do his due diligence in checking to see. He's not going to check to see, okay, what did Lord Annatar tell you guys to do? Right. He's not going to check in on that. He is completely focused on making these rings and finishing them. And he's told the Smiths that don't worry about it. He doesn't want to see you, actually. He just wants to focus on the rings. They have no reason to believe that he's lying because they've seen what Celebrimbor is like. So
right. I can't remember her name right now, but Mirandir or something like that.
Mirdania.
Yeah. Comments that Celebrimbor is especially ill-tempered of late. So the Smiths see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so even them, even though she's surprised that they're being essentially dismissed from their duties, she doesn't really question it because it makes sense. It all makes sense. They have no reason to like really believe that Annatar / Sauron is fucking with them.
Yeah.
Everything is there. Yeah.
I think it's really interesting because Annatar is lying so well during all of these interactions and these scenes. It's really fantastic to watch, and you wouldn't think that he is on a timeline, but he really is.
Oh, he is. He has a big old ticking clock. Like he is very much, he knows that there's a huge, gigantic army waiting. He knows that there's one. He knows that Adar is coming for him. He knows that it's there. But he is like, nope, I have to stay here until this is finished, and I'm going to make sure that happens no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he has the Siege of Eregion, which he knows is going to happen. He has Celebrimbor losing his mind, which he knows is pretty much going to happen. And so Annatar's plan is to have Celebrimbor do nothing other than working on the rings.
Yep.
And he's pretty much doing everything he can to make sure that that's all that's happening, because he is essentially the Lord of Eregion now.
Oh yeah,
Annatar is.
Yeah, and it's so clever because it's not even like Celebrimbor didn't ask him to take over the administrative duties. All Celebrimbor said is, "I can't do it. I don't have the time to do it." And Annatar is like, "Okay. Here we go. Here's my opening. Like, this is excellent."
Right. And that comes back to bite him a little bit in the ass.
Yeah.
But that's when we get to see this cool illusion. So I did know that Annatar cut his own hand, which I assumed was to provide fuel for the illusion in some way.
That's my assumption as well. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I'm saying 50-50 on that. It might be that his blood is being used for something else, but I don't know what his blood would be an ingredient in.
I mean, unless it's an ingredient in the quote-unquote mithril that he hands to...
Yeah, that was my other thought, was like, maybe it's not actually mithril because we didn't see him get mithril, but also I just assumed that he stole the mithril.
I think either one is very possible. Like, I could see either one being the truth, honestly.
Yeah. No, tensions definitely rose between Celebrimbor and Annatar, and that was pretty interesting to watch because Celebrimbor he knows something is up, but when you're battling with the Valar, or with, not the Valar, but like, the...
essentially the heir, quote unquote, heir of Morgoth.
Yeah.
Of, it's... What are you going to do?
When you're battling with a god, when you're battling with a demigod, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? And that's the thing, like, you can see, that's what's so heartbreaking about it. You can see on Celebrimbor's face, he knows something is not right. He knows that something is off, but he is so consumed with his work, and he's so, like, he's prideful. We've seen that he's prideful. And also he is, deeply resentful for what's happened with the dwarves' rings, and he wants to fix it, and he believes that he can fix it. And so he is very much in that state where he's just pushing everything, like all reason to the side. He's pushing all logic to the side, and he's ignoring it. He's choosing not to listen to that, like, sort of inner voice that is screaming at him at this point that something is not right.
Right, but he has, Annatar Sauron using that illusion was really, really cool.
It was, yes. That was so cool.
It was just a cool little illusion. And you get to see, like, the scope of Sauron's power, because up until now it's just been lying and manipulating, but you haven't got to see a bunch of the actual, like, magic stuff that he can do.
Yeah.
And now you get to see some of the cool magic stuff that he does.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, like, and it's a really good reminder that, like, Sauron is very intentional in everything that he does. He is very intentional, and he is intentionally using his power sparingly. Because if he wanted to, he could, like, take things by, like, he could choose the Force way if he really wanted to. And he would probably win. It would be a fight, but he could potentially win. But that's not his game. That's not Sauron. Sauron works in deceit. And in gaslighting and in lies. And so that's what he's doing. He creates this wonderful, beautiful illusion to put Celebrimbor at ease, and it's enough.
Yeah, it's masterfully done, I think.
Yeah,
and Annatar. I had a note here that Annatar convincing Celebrimbor to use Feanor's hammer was a good. That was just a little bit extra.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's just everything. I'm genuinely impressed with the depth of the deception. There is this sort of like dread that grows in me every time I see them interact, because I'm just like, oh, this is going to be so devastating when the other shoe drops for Celebrimbor.
Right, which is going to happen very soon.
Very soon it's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was something else that I wanted to. What's it? Fine. It's probably not super important. Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I completely lost my train of thought.
It's all good. That's pretty much all I had on Celebrimbor and Annatar. Like, things are, I don't know, things are heating up.
Yeah.
And the siege of Eregion started.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that's going to be the entire next episode, I think.
Oh yeah. That's going to be it. I mean, yeah. We might go to. Actually, I would be surprised if we went to Numenor, but maybe we will. I don't know.
Maybe for a little bit, but that feels more like an episode 8 thing.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I think next episode is going to be very, very much the Siege of Eregion, which is going to be horrible. But I can't wait.
It's going to be great.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
Me too.
So next we have Galadriel and Adar. Outside this, and again, we're using the Wikipedia summaries because it's think smarter, not harder. Or work smarter, not harder. I'm not thinking at all, apparently. I'm struggling today. I need more coffee. That's what I need.
We're both doing our best. Everyone's doing their best.
We're all doing their... I don't know where I was going with that. I was going to sing We're all doing it. We're all in it together.
We're all in it together.
We're all in this together. I don't know the rest of the song. I should rewatch that movie. Anyway, Galadriel and Adar. So outside the city, Adar tells Galadriel that this crown of Sauron's master, Morgoth, was able to destroy Sauron's previous physical form. He believes that together the crown and the elven rings of power could destroy Sauron for good. Galadriel realizes that Sauron has lured Adar's army to Eregion because he does not have one of his own. Mm-hmm. Adar ignores her concerns and begins besieging Eregion.
Yeah.
So a lot happens in a little bit amount of time here.
Yeah. You go ahead.
This is one of the plot points that I wish would have had a little bit more meat to it. Like, I feel like they could have expanded a little bit more on this instead of giving time to, like, you know, Arondir or one of the other plots that just existed. It was good. It was just my notes were shorter than the description that I just wrote out.
Yes. It was I agree. Like, I wish we had more time, because I find their dynamic fascinating. It's interesting because they're both working towards the same thing. And if Adar is to be believed, after Sauron is gone, he just wants to go and chill with his children. That's as far as he says, that's what he is wanting to do. Is it truthful? Who knows? But this is what he says. And, you know, obviously Galadriel has her very own, her own reasons for wanting to get rid of Sauron once and for all. And so it makes, I was kind of on board for them to work together with this until, because, when Galadriel pointed out, like, oh, this is what Sauron wants. He needs an army, and you have an army, and that's why you're here. I was like, oh shit, that is what's happening. Whoops.
That's exactly what's happening. And again, it's that meme. The Rings of Power would be so much shorter if everybody just listened to Galadriel.
Truly.
I did think it was interesting that Glug was the only one that was interested, or that the only one that was hesitating upon hearing Galadriel's, like, that's supposed to be Adar's kid. Yeah. I don't know if it's like his actual kid, but, you know.
Yeah. And so it seems like he is not quite as sure about things as Adar is, or at the very least, he seems like he may have been somewhat convinced by what Galadriel says. It's interesting. I don't I like that there's a little bit more, for lack of a better term, humanity that's being given to the orcs,
Yeah.
or to the Uruks. It makes, yeah, it's I don't hate it. I like it actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because they're humanizing the orcs, but they're also using them as like this mass weapon or this massive army, which in some way dehumanizes them a little bit.
Right.
Because they're just, I don't know. I'm curious.
They're essentially fodder. Like,
yeah. Right. What did you think about it being Morgoth's crown? Because in the books, that is not what happens to Morgoth's crown.
Nope. It is one of those things I was like, well, that's not correct. But you know what? I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to leave it alone.
I think that's pretty much what I did. Yeah. In the books, Morgoth's crown is taken and used as, or it's hammered down and kind of used as like a collar around his neck.
Right.
To drag him to prison, essentially, to God prison.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually exist.
Yes.
Anymore.
No, it's not supposed to be, which is, it's fine. It doesn't really break anything, but it was something that, like, I did raise my eyebrows at that. I was like, or actually, I mean, at first I was like, am I misremembering things? I thought that the crown was like, it's no more. It's not a thing. But
I did think it was very interesting that Adar was able to like kind of outsmart Galadriel, and I don't like it.
No, neither do I. Did not like it.
I don't like that Galadriel wasn't able to see through it at all, or wasn't able to, I don't know. It was too easy.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there were other things, like this is Adar. This is someone you shouldn't ever be tempted to team up with.
Right? And
yet Galadriel was very tempted.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me because this isn't in line with who Galadriel is as a character.
Yeah. It's
even in Rings of Power.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. It's the whole, like, from the beginning of this show, Galadriel has been, like, it's been established that Galadriel is very slow to trust anyone, really. She is very much like, she is laser focused on what she needs to do. And so it's interesting that she was swayed this easily. And by interesting, I mean kind of bullshit, but I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It just didn't feel appropriate for me, but what do I know? I'm just a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
I will, to say something positive, I did appreciate the way, like Adar's sort of explanation on how Sauron works, and how he talks about how he worms his way into your mind, and it's, like there's this almost like seductive quality to it. And he like specifically talks about how his eye sees you, which, as we know, is going to become very important later on, with the Eye of Sauron, and that it is all seeing and everything like that. So I did appreciate that. I thought that was a good little monologue. But yeah, it's mostly good. I just wish we had more time with them, quite honestly. I think it would have landed better if there was a little bit more time.
Yeah, I agree. It felt very, very rushed.
Which, I mean, I get, like, again, I understand they have 8 episodes to do a lot, and they've also chosen to do a lot. Like, that's the thing. Like, these are,
like, all of this is a choice.
This is a choice. You could have made a choice not to do as much, but anyway, that's just again, what do I know? I'm just a giant Tolkien fan. I don't know.
Next we have, or do we have anything else for Galadriel and Adar?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I had anything else for them. It was, I liked it. Just, I wish it was more.
It was very short.
Yeah.
It was just very short. Yeah. Next we have our Pharazôn, Elendil, and Míriel, and all of the people of Numenor.
Yeah.
So Elendil refuses to pledge his fealty. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Pledge his
Fealty?
Fealty, that's the word I was going to go for. Elendil refuses to pledge his loyalty to Ar-Pharazôn and is sentenced to trial by Abyss, in which he would be thrown into the sea to face a sea monster called the Sea Worm. Míriel claims the right to be tried in Elendil's stead. The Sea Worm spares her life, and the faithful hail her as Queen of the Sea. My first note here is that Ar-Pharazôn is such a dick, and Kemen and Eregion are also huge fucking dicks.
Oh, me too. Like, it's like, I think, where is it? Yeah, there's a part where I was just like, I hate all of them. Oh yeah, I despise her and Pharazôn and his shitty son.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't remember Kemen's name, so...
I did like the scene here where, because Elendil is like refusing to pledge his loyalty. He's sticking to his values, and that's a really, really cool trait.
I like him a lot. I really do. And listen, I sometimes I go back and forth when Lord of the Rings tries to add romance to the story, because sometimes it hits for me and sometimes it doesn't. I have to say, I really like Elendil and Míriel. I think they're very sweet. I like them.
I don't know if they're a thing or they're supposed to be a thing, but I would ship them.
Yeah, I like them. They seem very sweet. I like, at the bare minimum, I really appreciate their relationship. And just the loyalty and the love, whether it's platonic, romantic, whatever the case is, I enjoy it. His daughter, on the other hand,
his daughter is a piece of shit.
Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible.
After all she's done, like, to refresh, she has essentially like provided fuel to the fire to get Míriel kicked off the throne, revealed and stole and then revealed the Palantir, in episode 4 or 5,
something like that. Yeah,
I think it was 4. And is basically like mostly responsible for helping get Míriel off the throne, because what does her in is the Palantir,
right?
And then Eregion has the gall to like throw herself at Elendil and be like, I beg of you, please, I can't lose you too. And I'm like, bitch, you're the fucking reason.
When she started crying and hugged him, I was like, get away from this man, please, right now. Your brother would be so fucking ashamed of you if he were here right now. Like this.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? When can you imagine?
When he shows back up.
He's going to be like, I'm sorry, you did what?
You did what to our family?
What?
To our father?
And just, it's the audacity of it, because everyone knows, she knows that her father is an honorable man. She knows that the shit that they're accusing him of it's not true. It's not anything.
Yeah.
And yet, she's standing there and, crying. It's just, oh my God. I was disgusted with her, quite honestly.
I was very upset with her. I did not understand. Like, she is half the reason that he's in this entire situation in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bullshit.
It is. Absolutely it is. And that's not, and to be clear, I'm disgusted with Pharazôn as well. Like, both of them are just terrible. I think she's a little bit worse, because that's your father, girl.
Yeah, that's your family.
That's your family. And you know that he's a good... That's what gets me. It's that, like, if he was doing something shady or wrong, okay, sure, maybe. But he's not. The worst thing that you can say about him is that he is loyal to the actual queen of Numenor.
End of sentence. Like, that's it.
That's it.
And I get how that's punishable by death.
Sure.
I understand in the society that they're in, punishable by death, which is stupid, but whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hate her. I hate Eregion.
Yeah, I'm not about it's. And then when he was going to be judged and Míriel shows up, which well, we kind of knew because we saw that there was that clip in the trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when this episode happened, I was like, oh, okay, she's going to take his place. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But when Míriel shows up, did you see how quick she was to jump and say, oh, yes, I know. Like, it's in the rules. Don't worry. It's fine. This is a trade that can be done. I was like, yeah, okay, girl. Okay, girl.
She knew the rules.
Oh my god. Ugh.
She knew the rules, unfortunately. Yeah, Eregion is just like I'm trying to understand her reason for acting the way
Yeah.
she is. Like she doesn't want to lose her father above everything else now, I guess. Like that's the most important thing, but she doesn't recognize her part.
Yeah.
And Elendil said, if you think, I can't remember the exact line, but he basically told her to fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, if you look at me and only see pride, then
Yes.
we are like, essentially we're done. Which like good for him, because what the fuck, girl?
Right. Yeah. I did not enjoy it.
No.
I did not enjoy it at all.
This is another plot that I wish we had more time with, because it needs more time. It just, every time we switch to Numenor, it just feels so rushed. Like everything happens so quickly, and it's a shame because anyway. It feels like they need more time with this.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're going to get more of Numenor in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Or I hope we're going to get more of Numenor in season 3, but
I mean, fingers crossed.
yeah. I'm just hoping it's not all politics, because this is politics, but it's with some action actually happening.
Right. There's stuff happening with it. Yeah. I agree. Can we talk about the way that Míriel basically passed Umol's vibe check and was like,
Yeah, absolutely. Because that was my favorite part, was just seeing, like, Míriel was being every ounce of a queen, taking Elendil's place. And she showed up in her, like, bathing suit, essentially, and was ready to just go.
Yep.
She's like, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out looking like the hot bitch that I am.
Also, she's so beautiful. She is,
She is very beautiful.
I was so distracted. Like, there would be close-ups of her face, and I'd be like, what am I supposed to do with this?
What am I supposed to do with this information?
What am I supposed to do with this? She's so beautiful. Anyway, that's my little...
Yeah, no. They did say once in there, the sea is always right, and I fucking knew they were going to say the sea is always right. I knew it was going to worm its way into here.
They had to get it in. They haven't said it in so long. They were missing it.
I don't think they've said it this season.
No, I don't think so either.
But they had to get it in there. But yeah, no. So yeah, Míriel goes into the little abyss thing. I don't know how the sea monster gets into that little crack there.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's a bigger opening on the side that it can get through, but it's a triangle, so I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. I was just like briefly curious. I was like, oh, how does this seem? And then I was like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Exactly.
But yeah, so the sea monster looks at Míriel. Míriel looks back, except Míriel doesn't see anything because she's blind.
Right.
And then Míriel gets spit back out.
Mm-hmm.
And our Pharazôn is just like, well, fuck.
Yeah, I know. His face was so delicious.
It was so good.
It was so good. Because now, like, she's the one who's been chosen now. Like, she was supposed to die by all accounts. And I love that they were like, oh, the sea is chosen. She dead. And then the sea was like, no, actually, she's not.
Yeah. I enjoyed seeing our Pharazôn's face after that. Because I'm curious as to where it's going to go. And I think that's why it might be an episode 8 thing.
Yeah.
Is because they need a little bit more time in Numenor to just figure out what the hell is going to happen.
Yeah. I am betting that it's going to become a power struggle.
Yeah.
It has to be. And also it's what happens at the end of this plot is particularly interesting because of who he sees at the end in the Palantir.
Yes. I guess the summary didn't really touch on that, but our Pharazôn then afterwards goes back and sees Sauron or Halbrand in the Palantir, but also sees Mount Doom and the Eye of Sauron, and like literally Sauron's just physical human eye, which he doesn't. Yeah. And yeah, so I think that's supposed to make the connection that Halbrand is Sauron for him.
Yeah, I think so too. and it's going to be it'll be interesting because it'll be interesting to see because I am assuming that after Annatar has done his crimes in Eregion, he is going to skedaddle over to Numenor.
Yeah.
Because he has stuff to do in Numenor as well. So,
well, I think like Ar-Pharazôn captures Sauron.
Yes,
I believe.
Yeah.
So, I think Ar-Pharazôn is going to make his way over to Middle Earth.
Yeah, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's that they come to meet. Like, I
don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I kind of have a theory that, and this is not canonical in the books, but I feel like it might happen in the show. I wouldn't be surprised if Ar-Pharazôn ends up being one of the Nazgul.
Yeah, that would be fine with me.
Yeah, like he ends up getting a ring.
It would make sense.
I think it would make a lot of sense. It kind of feels like that might be the direction that the show is taking. I don't know. But I think it would be kind of cool. I don't know.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Did we have anything else on Ar-Pharazôn, Elendil, Míriel, Numenor?
No. Again, Numenor is beautiful. It's the top shot of when you see the white tree, sort of this like aerial shot of Numenor, as it I think it's when Elendil is going before Ar-Pharazôn and being told to renounce his crimes and all that bullshit. But there's a really cool shot down at the white tree, and I was like, oh, that was a nice touch. That was cool.
Yeah, the white tree is the ancestor of the white tree that we see in Lord of the Rings, so it's very, very cool.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this is worth talking about, but the stranger, Nori, and Poppy.
We could have done without this.
We could have done without this entire plot thing, but anyway, Tom takes the stranger to a forest of dead trees where he's meant to find a magic staff. The stranger has a vision of Nori and Poppy being threatened by the Dark Wizard and must decide between helping his friends and fulfilling his destiny. Like you said, we could have done without this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was not necessary to have this.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's eating up time. And to be clear, I really like Nori and Poppy. I think they're really sweet and I like them as characters. It's just that like it's so disconnected from everything that is happening right now. And it just feels really out of place. I don't know. I don't know.
It did feel very out of place, and it felt like we had to go there because we haven't been with the stranger in a couple of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't there at all last episode, so I just felt like this could have been in next episode.
Yeah, I think I agree. And I mean, I understand why they didn't put it next episode, because I think next episode is going to be
just Eregion,
and there just wouldn't have been time. I get it,
right?
But still, it's. I will say I really like Gundabale. I like her a lot. I like her a lot as a character. And also seeing this sort of I guess precursor to Hobbit holes. In the homes,
the smiles.
Yeah, the smile. Yes, exactly.
She pronounced them Smeals, I think.
Smeals, I think. Yeah,
but it's Smiles.
Yes. And so yeah, like I liked seeing that. I like seeing more of like a different Hobbit culture, and one that's honestly more similar to what we see in the original movies. So I like it. It just feels out of place. That's the only thing. Yeah. And Poppy and the boy, they're cute. That's fine. Very cute and very pure.
That was the most unnecessary.
Absolutely. It's like, that's the thing. Like, I'm just like, this is very cute, but do we need this?
Yeah, it was the most unnecessary. I didn't understand why Mary Mac and Poppy had to kiss. Like, that felt...
Because there's got to be heterosexuals kissing, James. They have to make the straights kiss. Otherwise, things collapse.
Did you catch that Nori was thinking of turning herself in to the Dark Wizard?
Mm-hmm.
What a dumb idea.
I was like, when she said that, I was like, girl, do not do that. Do not do that.
Dumb,
do not do that.
Dumb idea.
You know what, though? She's absolutely going to do it, is the thing.
Oh, 100%.
She's going to do it. And it's a really stupid idea. But she's going to do it.
Yeah. She's going to do it. She's not very bright. And then the stranger is going to come and save her, and it's going to be,
Of course. Yeah, and it's gonna be I'm assuming that that was part of the test to begin with. Like the test is whether or not he will put like who he's going to put first,
Right.
who he values. And yeah, that's my assumption anyway. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will. So there were a couple quotes that I was like, oh, this sounds familiar. Yeah. And where is it? I have to scroll in my notes. I need to start organizing them like you do because now I can't find anything. It's where
there's only 2 episodes left to start getting organized.
I know. Tom says to maybe Gandalf, many that die deserve life, some that live deserve death. Who are you to give it to them? Which is almost word for word what Gandalf in the movies says to Frodo in the Mines of Moria.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh,
it's dumb.
Okay, we're doing this. We are in it.
We're just doing this.
We're in it.
I watched the Nerd of the Rings video on this episode after I watched the actual episode itself, and it was, what was it that he said? He said that they need to stop taking these things directly from Lord of the Rings and from the movies and make it its own show. And I agree that they really, really do.
Me too. And I understand the reasoning behind it. It's because they're trying to make sure that the show or the Tolkien fans beforehand are happy. But I think you can do that by doing, you don't need to put quotes in. Just do things that make it more Tolkien-esque.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're going a very roundabout way of doing things, and it's just very, you want to get to the same conclusion, but you're not willing to put in the work. You're just trying to take a couple of lines, and hopefully that works for you. And it's not working.
It's not working. That's the thing. The first couple of times that it happened, I was like, oh, this is nice. I like this. This is cool.
It's a nice little throwback.
It's a nice throwback.
Right? Like, it's honoring the original.
Absolutely. But we're in season 2 now. That's I think for season 1, I think it was actually kind of important for them to do things like that, to sort of to create this sort of connective tissue between the two. But we're in season 2. It's time to start setting yourselves apart as your own separate show. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. But
yeah. I didn't have anything else on the stream because it was only 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else either.
Very last thing we have is the dwarves. King Durin continues to gather wealth and cause a doom. Annatar visits requesting more mithril, but is denied. Disa and Prince Durin attempt to slow King Durin's attempts to mine more mithril. I feel bad for King Durin in all of this.
Oh my god. It's so heartbreaking. I genuinely forgot how heartbreaking the history is for the line of Durin until we got into, we were getting into sort of the later season. I was like, oh yeah, this is where all of this stuff starts for them.
Yeah.
We're seeing where it starts.
Yeah, this is pretty much the beginning of the end for Khazad Dûm.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking as they, as they're Prince Durin is debating with his father and trying to get him to stop digging. And all that kept coming back to my brain is the dwarves delve too greedily and too deeply.
And too deep. Yep. Which
is, it's again, this is yet another plot that I would love it if we had just a mini series that was only focused on the dwarves and Khazad Dûm, because
that would be nice.
I am so, every time I see them, I'm so invested in the characters and in the plot and everything like that. It's just and when they switch to another scene, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I did think it was interesting when Sauron saw an image of the Balrog in the flames. I thought that was really cool. I think it was just him seeing the fact that the end of Khazad Dûm is coming.
I think so too.
Yeah. Because there was no acknowledgement that anyone else saw it. It was just him seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. It's that entire confrontation, because let's call it what it is, a confrontation between Sauron and King Durin and Prince Durin was really good.
It was really well written.
It was great. I don't think like not canonical at all, but
No.
like it's see this is what we mean. Like I want more like scenes like this where like it still feels like the characters. It still feels like, you know, the world of Middle Earth, but it doesn't have to be necessarily something that's in the books. It's just give me more stuff like this because it was so well done. And the way that King Durin was like, no, I'm not giving you shit. And Prince Durin has like a moment of happiness and relief that his father denied it, only to find out, no, actually his father is waiting for a better opportunity so that they can get more.
It's always more with King Durin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting how he tried to take the Ring of Power from King Durin and was repelled back. And I think that's just kind of like King Durin's inherent strength.
I think so.
And Prince Durin not really looking or not really thinking about getting repelled back by his own father. But I think the ring also has a little bit to do with it as well.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Prince Durin and King Durin were breaking my heart this entire episode. It was so sad. Seeing just how devastated Prince Durin is by what's happening to his father. And I mean, his relationship with Disa is so precious and so good. I love them. And just the way that Disa is able to focus and give him, like, you know, encourage him. Because, yeah, like, of course he's, you know, like it's his father. He doesn't want to do anything that's going to embarrass or harm his father. Like, God forbid, not harm his father. But he's, at the same time, he is very much aware that this isn't, something is not right. Something is very, very wrong.
Something's very wrong.
Yeah.
I will say Disa definitely had it out for King Durin, it felt like. Like, Disa is immediately like, okay, he's the bad guy right now. We need to figure out what to do. She was just more practical about it than than Prince Durin was, because Prince Durin was like, well, that's my dad. And Disa's like, yeah, well, he's basically a father to me too, and I'm not being a little bitch like you are.
Yes. It was so good. I know, but she's like, and I think too for Disa, like Prince Durin is operating like he is worried about his father, obviously.
Right.
Disa is worried about King Durin for sure, and also all of Khazad-dûm, and also her husband. Like I think she is very hyper aware that this could very easily be Prince Durin if the circumstances were sort of converged in the right way. And so I think she is very desperately, like not desperately, because I don't think anything Disa does is desperate, but she is very, she's being very intentional, I think, with how she's approaching this, because she knows that her husband, Prince Durin, He can't. It's his father.
Yeah. He can't, so Disa has to. And Disa's okay with that.
Yeah.
And then we do see Disa using her cool vocal abilities to summon some bats, which admittedly was cool.
Sure.
I don't know how much it's actually going to help.
Well, it scared them away for the time. We don't really know what they have planned to do, like what their plan is.
Right.
If they're gonna, I guess it depends. I'm assuming we find out probably not next episode, but in episode 8. What their plan is, but we'll see.
Yeah, I assume we see the Balrog or something in episode 8.
It's gotta be,
because that'll give us a good lead into season 3. Yeah,
it's gotta be. Yeah, but it's I thoroughly enjoyed everything to do with the dwarves. I love that Prince Durin is just not at all about Annatar shit. He is he is like, no, fuck this guy specifically. I don't trust this motherfucker.
Yeah, he does not fuck with Annatar. He does not see the point. He does not understand the appeal.
Nope.
He's done with it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what we're going to see with the dwarves in episodes 7 and 8, if anything.
Oh,
yeah.
The heaps of gold and jewels that were being brought before King Durin.
Yeah, that was excessive.
This is the start of their hoard. This is the start of Like that's what I mean. Like we're seeing the start of everything to do with like the line of Durin and the downfall of Durin and the downfall of Khazad. It's heartbreaking, honestly. Like it's great. It's great television, but it is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to see.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see it.
We're gonna see it.
Yeah. Did we have anything else on the dwarves?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do we? Oh, well, I guess we kind of already talked about like, is it Mithril or not? With
yeah, I'm leaning towards it's not Mithril, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, some kind of Sauron concoction.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see the One Ring this season?
No.
No. You think it's going to be season 3?
I think it's going to be season 3.
Okay. Do you think he's made the One Ring? Because he makes it after.
He makes it after all of the rings, and that's when they all know to take them off.
Right. Okay.
Because he has to forge it in Mount Doom.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So yeah, so you're right. It's gonna have to. I mean, maybe it'll
season 3 or season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they haven't the rings for men haven't even been completed yet. I don't believe.
I assume that'll happen next episode because it has to happen pretty much before Eregion falls.
Yeah, because he needs them to be created beforehand. So
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it'll be an interesting last 2 episodes. I think they'll be probably the best of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this episode was good, but it felt like a setup episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if calling it good. It was okay. There was a lot of stuff that could have been cut.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it, like, in any other context, if we had more time, I would appreciate them. It's just that we don't have enough time to, like, do all of this stuff, you know?
Right. Yeah, there's not enough time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah. Overall, an okay episode, in my opinion. I'm excited for episodes 7 and 8.
Me too. I'm both excited and dreading episodes 7 and 8 because, yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Queers of Time. We have been James and Kat recapping episode 6 of Rings of Power Season 2. If you want to listen to more of our episodes, we're available on every episode podcast thingy you can find, every podcast thingy you can find. What else is there? Our Discord is where you're most likely to find us. We are pretty active in our Discord. Chat was popping off earlier today about some book series. I don't know. I can't remember. But it was popping off. I kept getting notifications.
It was on and popping.
But yeah. If you want to, and we have a Patreon. If you want to follow us or give us some money there, that would be great to help support the podcast. And yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening.
All right. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all for listening. This was Queers of Time, a Wheel of Time podcast. The music is Dance of the Witches by Julius H.